All right, this is Derek Ashong, aka DNA. I have not done this in a while, but there's so much going on in the world right now that I figured it might be time to get back to at least trying to express some thoughts. Before I get into anything, I will tell you straight up, I want to talk about the Troy Davis execution and also some things I saw in the Republican debate yesterday. Before I do that, I've got to give a big shout out to the UN Foundation, because UN Foundation 92Y and Mashable put together an event on Wednesday that I got to attend, actually Tuesday. And it was all this week, the Social Good Summit in New York City. And on Tuesday, myself, Mandy Moore, and Randy Zuckerberg did an amazing panel for the Nothing But Nets campaign. I was inspired because I felt like I learned something. Hope a lot of you learned as well. Want to give this shout out. Check out nothingbutnets.net to find out about this whole End Malaria campaign. Also got to give props to my whole team at AJ Stream for coming down to New York and participating in that Social Good Summit. It was amazing, and much love to 92Y, Mashable, and UN Foundation for putting it together. The reason I'm doing this blog is because a lot of us were really upset in what we saw on Wednesday night with the execution of Troy Davis, a man who many people suspected to be innocent of the crime he was accused of, a man who of the international community was crying out for there to be some kind of clemency or consideration of the facts in the case. A man who was convicted with no physical evidence, but on the strength of the testimony of 9 people, 7 of whom recanted their testimony, and one of the remaining 2 being the other suspect in the case. Supreme Court said that they might be able to issue a stay, or at least we thought they would or could when the case went to them, and ultimately they did not, and he was executed I believe at 11:08 p.m. on Wednesday night. Right, so why am I making this post on Friday? First of all, I was so upset when I saw what happened Wednesday, and many of you were, because it looks like there's something fundamentally broken in our justice system, where some people simply don't get justice, and it has everything to do with the amount of justice you can afford. And the sad reality is, in this country at this point, if you don't fit certain parameters, if you don't have certain kinds of money, access, relationships, if you don't necessarily fit certain racial and ethnic categories, you're more likely to get less justice than others. That doesn't mean that the system is necessarily out to get you if you're not rich and white per se. But it is to say that statistically, you wind up getting less justice if you're not. And I think that what we saw on Wednesday is a part of that. The reason why I'm making this post today, however, is because I think there's something wrong with much more than simply our justice system. Last night I was watching the GOP debate and I was tweeting about it. I was talking to my friends. It was fun and interesting. Some interesting thoughts were engaged. There were some ideas thrown around that I thought were intriguing. But there was a moment that really struck me. And that was when they had a question coming in via YouTube from a gay soldier serving in Iraq. And he was talking about their response to Don't Ask, Don't Tell. And I heard people booing in the audience when he came on. Now I'm thinking the GOP has been saying all this stuff about how they support the troops, patriotism, we love America. And here you have a troop. And because you disagree with his lifestyle choices or with his particular, inner being, whatever it is that formulates his sexuality, you're going to boo him. What does that mean? What does that say for this idea that we support the troops? And the thing that struck me is, there's a lot of rhetoric that's going on right now. A lot of rhetoric. And there are a lot of people speaking very, very loudly in some really negative fashions. It wasn't just that they booed the gay soldier at this debate. It's also the previous debate where they cheered for the execution of people in Texas. When Rick Perry was talking about the number of people they'd executed and the fact that he doesn't lose any sleep over it. And that's what made the connection to me over what happened on Wednesday night with Troy Davis. And this is the message I wanted to say to you. Those of us who believe our country can be something better, something greater, something that is more representative of all of us and our humanity, need to get activated and active in this campaign season. A lot of people think 2012 is all about the presidential election. That's critical, but it's not just that. It's also the fact that we're electing congresspeople, we're electing local representatives, we're electing state representatives. We're actually electing leaders who will be appointing judges and Supreme Court justices in the future. And if we really want this world to be any different, we can't simply sit on the sidelines and let the people who are most active, the most vocal, be the ones who are the most hateful. So, I'm going to be doing whatever I personally can, after seeing what I've seen this week, to try to re-elect President Barack Obama in 2012. Surprise, surprise. But I'm also going to be doing whatever I can to try to raise awareness about the importance of being active and being invested. You may be disappointed in what's happened. You may not feel like everything that you wanted in '08 has been realized. But trust me, it can be a lot worse. And my mission today is simply to let you know that if we want to save the next Troy Davis, it's not going to happen today. It's not going to happen tomorrow. It's going to be an ongoing effort. And our voices should be much, much louder than those who hate gays, who hate minorities, who hate criminals, who hate anybody. Because this country can and should be greater than that. That's my word. This is the first video blog. Let's hope there'll be more. Peace.